Check.
Yeah, listen up. This ain't a game. Truth Seekers 88, we reclaim.
I'm
No
not
lies,
seeing
no
Rumble.
lies, no doubt, no pause. We see the system, we know the cause. We ain't blind, we read the signs. Contracts twist, but we hold the line. Mike stands tall, the sheepdogs ride. Admin's watching, truth stays alive. We laugh together, cry as one. Tribe ain't broken, we ain't done. Justice lives, truth runs deep, heart to heart. Family speaks, no more shadows, no disguise. We see past the blinding lies. Hand in hand we walk, we show. Truth Seekers 88, let them know. Through the fight, through the years, through the laughter, through the tears. Sheepdogs, the admin stand. Truth Seekers 88, we take a stand.
All right, we should be live now. The show was scheduled for 7:30. I started it at 7, but apparently we did the show backstage. Didn't figure it out until 7:20 after I then went.
We talked for, we went on a whole spiel.
we got a warm up in backstage, but I'm glad everybody's with us. Sorry about that. I tried to start earlier than 7:30, what it was scheduled for, but
RumbleSand.com's not coming up.
.com. Well,
all right,
check.
yeah, give me a second.
Mike's not with us tonight. He wasn't feeling well, understandably. So throughout this week, he's going to try to come on. If not, then you'll know why. But he's definitely making efforts to try, which he needs to rest, of course, and heal himself. So we just need to all understand that and be patient, and we will try our best to bring you all the information, and just keep praying for him.
That's it. But here we are. It's funny, I have to say this again, but I remember though it's weird. But today's 6:30, 2025. That's a 639 or 369 number, right? Yeah, we did a whole 20-minute show backstage, guys. I wish we would have recorded it.
And we have Cause with us tonight. Thank you, Cause.
Thank you. I'm the fill-in for Mike. So Sheep has somebody to talk to?
There you go.
No, I appreciate it. I'm glad. I'm happy to come in and assist any way I can.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike was going to come on, but we were going to start the show at 7:30, like I said, and he just was having issues before the show. But that's okay. We got it.
.com.
We got it from here. Cause was talking about her battle, right, Cause, and what you're having to go through.
You want me to repeat all that? I think I spoke for 15 of the 20 minutes, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That was really awesome.
I thought I was filling the gap, and then he comes on and says, well, we got to start over. Sorry. Yeah. So you asked how my day was today, and I said, well, I think it was pretty good. I'll give you guys a little camera just because I can. I think it was pretty good. I don't want to announce much until I see how it plays out in the system. In the last 24, 48 hours, I came across some stuff that actually Mrs. Sheepdog read a little bit further than I did when I thought it was a good find. And she brought it to my attention and I worked on it from there most yesterday, educating myself, checking in with some friends, Kat and Jim that you've heard about before, just to make sure that I was reading and verifying and doing what I needed to do. And our collective heads came together and thought maybe it was something I should try. So I did it today. I feel very calm and ready. We'll just have to wait and see. And I don't want to share with anyone my situation. I can certainly share some of the paperwork and things that I used as a resource, and you're welcome to do what you'd like to with it. But we have to remember that anything, mortgage, foreclosure, coupons, bills, credit cards, that kind of stuff, there are many, many different ways to approach. There's different platforms that give you different teachings. And it's not that each one is wrong. It's not that each one is right. It's that each one may have something that works. And there may be one that's the perfect work. I'm not sure. But excuse me, the bottom line is we have to keep pushing back. These big guys, the corporations, feel like they own us and that they can take care of things for us. And we need to make sure that we tell them that they don't, and that it's our lives and we're private and we know what we need and we know who we are. Hence, I believe the discussion more recently about knowing who you are and making sure that you are doing your due diligence to try to get into the private, to understand what that means, to be in that space. I'm still not seeing .com there, Sheep. And then we discussed a little bit about now is a time where the energies could be very discouraging as well as very encouraging. Some people are on a high and they're doing well, and other people are feeling very discouraged. And we're going to work to keep things off the chat wall that are disgusting and discouraging and negative. But if you need a little support, please post it on the chat wall, or please ask to connect with one of us individually. Although I will say that there's a lot of people and we sometimes get busy, but we're more than happy to help whenever we can. And if you need a little boost or you want to share a little bit and you need some encouragement, certainly post on the wall, hey, I'm having a little bit of a down day. And then see what responses you get, what fun things, and look at it, try to flip it around and look at it differently, because there are a lot of amazing things going on around us. And there's a lot of amazing things happening behind the scenes. I'm sure of it. I can feel some energies that I believe to be positively good. And so we go forward with that hope. There's always hope. I had a breast cancer diagnosis in 2015, and that was one of the first things that I learned, is that there's always hope. And there is. We don't always see it right away, but there's always hope. You just have to keep looking for it and calling for it and bringing it. What else did I talk about, Sheep? Fill in the gap. You probably got enough that you can start going with.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the .com going.
Okay, I'll keep talking then.
Send Marlon
All right, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I got to get the .com going. Apparently, it's not hooked up here. I'm having to make some phone calls real quick.
Okay. I will tell the .com.
Yeah.
So this is me kind of behind the scenes. I've got an iPad that I do Rumble on. I've got a phone that I'm checking the chat wall with, and I have usually a computer or something else that I'm watching the .com on. And right now I only have two items that I'm able to watch and pay attention to, but that's okay. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate anybody that's come on late. Mike set things up. He was hoping to be on tonight, and he just didn't feel quite up to it at the very last. So we're running with this. The sheepdogs are running with this. They asked me to come on at the last minute, so you get to see my smiling face instead of Mike's. And good things are happening. I did speak in the 20 minutes before we actually started the show that I feel like there's like in the last 24 hours or so, I found a couple of really good articles that relate to mortgage securities, that kind of stuff. And it seems like there's more and more information that we're able to find and grab onto and bring hold. This is coming to fruition. More people are starting to hear about this. More people seem to be starting to ask questions about this. They want to be educated more. They're a little bit skeptic, but they're not sure. I think it's very important at this phase for many who've already been going forward to try to work on the taxes, making sure they're tax free. The way I understand it, private is not one of the categories they have. And so they'll tell you we don't have a private category, and that's just fine. The answer to that is take me off your tax records because I am in the private. And you have no authority to make me a resident because when you claim that I am a resident, you are automatically labeling me as a US citizen, which, as we know or have had lessons, that the 14th Amendment does not apply to us as US citizens. We do not want to be claiming ourselves as US citizens. First of all, citizen is a slave, and we are not slaves. We are sovereign, born to the land. Um, State nationals, I think, is another phrase that has been used, but sovereign is the best answer at the moment. We don't want to do state citizen. The word citizen seems to bring that negative legalese. We don't want the legalese, we want the lawful. And so that helps us to recognize and to tell them and to declare that we are private. We need to continue to take steps. So the affidavit of truth, if you Google it, you may find some. Scribd, SCRIBD.com is an excellent. I have found so much on that website, and you can sign up for free. I think you get 3 downloads before they start charging you a monthly fee of $11.99, and you can cancel at any time. Even if you were able to lock arms with somebody and go on and do some searches, $11.99 is going to be a wealth of information for you to find. And I go into scribd.com and search with different names, different words, foreclosure or UCC codes or coupon method or things like that. And you can find numerous articles. Now it's up to you to do your due diligence. And this is where I have found different articles that I pull different things out of and make my one letter that I send out. I like some of the different things that I'm hearing or seeing. And hi, Miss Peg Ann. And that's where I create my letters from. We do have some letters that from the last show when Joe and I are on, I did put them in the admin room just to make sure that others had looked at them and they were clear to do. If you absolutely need some template of sorts, I'm not sure if you can just add your name and go from there, edit and add. You may have to retype the whole thing. It may just be a document that you can look at and then have to retype from that and use what you need. Please understand that I'm not a financial person. I don't necessarily know what all the legalese and lawfulese is, but I know that the templates or the information I've put out has helped me move forward with my stuff, and it has some pretty good resource in it. They have some pretty good resource in it. So that would be something that may be helpful to you to get some of the verbiage and put some things together for yourself. The affidavit of truth, I think I mentioned in a post, I forget somewhere. It gets a little crazy when you're answering 3 and 4 different people and my head is busy with my own thoughts and what I may have to focus on for myself and the mortgage, etc. And I mean no disrespect to anybody. I'm happy to help everyone, but it doesn't mean I remember what your situation is. But the affidavit of truth, I almost wish I would have posted earlier and gotten it out there sooner, because if it's out in the public record, and this is something that Mr. Joe has talked about, putting things on the public record, which there's a public record place, as far as I understand it, it's the Register of Deeds. They're the public registrar. You can put things on the public there. You could probably link it to a residence or your address by going in and making an affidavit of truth or an affidavit of notification or something like that to put in the public. There's a certain format. You have to go onto your county website and look for Register of Deeds and find out what their format is with regard to how many inches at the top of the page, how many inches on the left and right and the bottom, because they will reject the paper. And then submit it. And the affidavit of truth has things in it like I was born living, breathing. I am not a dead entity corporation. I have to use the driver's licenses, or I've chosen to, or this is something I'm doing because it allows my life to go forward without the interruptions. So I use it sort of under protest, is the way you're writing it and saying it. Same thing with marriage licenses, same things with license plate tags, anything that you may need to utilize in the corporate world, the legalese. But my affidavit of truth came out to about 8 pages. And I did 8 pages because I thought that it covered a lot of things. And what's supposed to happen is I've sent copies of my affidavit of truth notarized, and I had it notarized for identification purposes only, not to recontract and put me into any other legal ease situations. That's a notation that I've learned to put in there as a qualifier. But I've sent it to a couple of different corporations to establish that I was a living, breathing person and not a dead entity. And they're technically supposed to respond within 30 days, point for point. So on an 8-page affidavit, there's several points. And a couple of the points that you want to make sure you put in there is go look at your state constitution. Most that I've found and helped people with, it's like Article 1, Section 1, or Article 1, Section 2, or Article 2, Section 1. But it's the part of the state constitutions that say that the people govern over and have the authority and the right to declare and create their governments. And the people have the freedom to say what's to take place. And that's the kinds of things that you want in your affidavit of truth, because you're establishing that you're in charge of you and you're in charge of these people that think they're going to be in charge of you. And if they don't rebut it, there's lots of case law and lots of common law items out there that say that an unrebutted affidavit stands as truth. So if they don't respond point for point, they have to answer point for point. They can't just say we don't accept this, and they can't just say we don't like your first line. Every single item that you put on that, they have to respond to or rebut or say something and make the claim that it's not true, and they can't, because that's your affidavit of truth. With that being said, I wished I'd submitted mine a little bit sooner in some of the process so that it was very clear to them who I was. Not that it would have changed the back and forth and the push to try to make sure these corporations understood my position, but it gave fodder, and it was a necessary item that, in the way I do things, I'm trying to establish that letter trail, that look, in this letter I sent you an affidavit of truth. Look, you're past that deadline. You didn't act in honor. You didn't recognize and respond point for point. So you technically have accepted that as my truth. And so now you must treat me in this way. Mike actually corrected me a couple of times when in my letters, I'd said, I'd like to declare, or I would like to request from you. And he was like, you're not requesting anything. You're telling them. You need to stand in a position of authority. And it really reshifted how I was thinking and approaching things. And I have come out with more of my letters and correspondences saying, no, you are ignoring me, and that is not okay. I am standing here telling you what you are supposed to be doing. And then dialogue with Joe, it's like, yep, that's what you have to keep doing. But Joe says they just continue to break their own laws. The UCC codes are mostly set up for the corporate world, the corporation, the admiralty people. And we are the common law. We are the living, breathing. So they are supposed to abide by those laws that are set up, and they don't. And especially mortgages, from what I've discovered, they're not so friendly. They don't care, but there's a lot more there. I would encourage everybody to go into your county website, research your address, your property, whatever you have, and try to find out what deeds or titles or mortgages or whatever there may be on file that you don't know anything about. Because that might give you a wealth of information with regard to whether your mortgage was sold, whether you even need to know anything. Um, sorry, guys. And so it will give you some information. And this is where the big corporations, I believe, feel that we're ignorant and we don't know where to go look and we don't know how to do it. And we should be able to. We should empower ourselves to go research and look and do more. And the I can'ts and the I haven'ts and the I don't know how to work on computers, I get that. I respect that. I've been there. But you have to find somebody to help you, that is close to you, that can help you. A grandchild, I know several people have used their grandchildren to help them. Libraries will help out. I ran into a snaggle and I had to print some things and they said, just come to the library. And they're happy to print things up and you can email stuff to them. There are some other resources, some of the computer stores that are used computer stores or so. If you go in and just ask a couple of questions, don't inundate them, but if you go in and say, look, I've just started on this platform and I'd like to download this. Could you just show me very quickly? I'm sure that they would be interested in helping you. Even if you were I'm thinking of buying a new something, I think I may need to update, whatever it might be, but I just don't know how to do some of these things. Folks will help you. And if you approach it the right way, this is where we're getting to. When you come in with the right heart, you come in with the right intention, you're going to be met with that intention and that heart. And I've been met that way several times in the last week, standing in line at the bank to get notary. Just today, there were one person on one side, one on the other. And we just got talking and sharing stories. And they were older than me, but close to my age, more than the younger generation that's on their phones. But it was pretty nice to be able to just talk about patience and talk about kindness and goodness in the world with two people on either side of me in line. I mean, it was a long line. There were 12 people in line waiting to get up to the front counter. And I'm working to bring a calm and a happy instead of this agitated, impatient, gotta have it now. Sheepdog, you can jump in anytime. I'm just filling. If you're ready to go, let me know.
Here
Yeah,
we go.
sorry,
We're good.
we had to make some phone calls, but the .com is not active because Mike set up the .com, and he's the only one that can put in the keys, but couldn't get a hold of him, so that's okay.
Okay.
It still will be uploaded, and you can view it after we're done with the show. But we're live on YouTube and Rumble.
I shared out the links for YouTube and Rumble for today. I apologize. We already set up the stream. Well, we already went live before the keys were entered, so it's not going to work. So we have to wait. But again, like my wife said, it's going to be uploaded to the .com after we're done here. Marlon's going to make sure that happens. Thank you, Marlon. Thank you, Cause.
You're welcome, guys.
So we're going to get into a couple of topics here from a couple of books that we picked from today to bring to you. We're going to start with this video and then we're going to go into the documents. Here we go. Let me unmute it. Here we go. Here we go, Facebook.
America.
America.
I want to get on here for a minute, just have a chat. Last video I made like this, TikTok took it down. it's hard to tell truth on this app. And if you don't enter the video or put your little disclosure down there, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say here is factual or true. It's just for shits and giggles. It's to entertain the population.
Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that?
Just turn it up.
It seems really low.
It was just a little bit. I could hear it, but it was.
Okay, you can hear it. You might have to turn the TV all the way up. Here we go.
I wish there was an app. And people tell me all the time, oh, you know, you put it on this one, put it on that one. They won't censor you. The shit I talk about, they censor on every app. Yeah. Because we're getting down to the nitty gritty of what people do wrong. Right? And who's who in this big old mess of shit in this country. Another thing we need to focus on what's going on at home. All right? All this bullshit in the news, all this bullshit overseas, like, that's none of your business. It's none of your concern. You need to be focused on what's going on right here. All right? Because all of that bullshit is happening right here. All right? And that's what all that is for, is to keep you from seeing what is going on in your own neighborhoods, your own communities. All right? For instance, law enforcement. It's our job to hold law enforcement accountable. It's our job to hold the judges accountable. It's our job to hold the city officials accountable. It's our job, period. It's our job. It's our responsibility. All right? So we have to step up. All right? We have to be educated. We have to be knowledgeable. We have to have a pathway forward. All right? We've got all kinds of resources to do that. All right? I'm telling you, these AIs that they're coming out with, use it for your legal and lawful matters. Use it. Communicate with that damn AI. It will give you some bang up information on how to hold people accountable when they do you wrong. Absolutely. All right. So we all have to take an active approach, and we all got to unify on the same ground. All right. I see a lot of people still trying to defend people that are oppressing others, and that's not going to work anymore. All right. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm putting those facts down. I'm putting the truth out for everybody to see. But it's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to us to hold the system accountable, because we are the highest law of the land. We are the people. Period. And if we don't act, no one else is going to do it for us. There's no savior coming back. All right? We talk about Christ consciousness or Christ returning. That's inside. It's an internal thing. All right? And the world wants you to keep looking out so you don't know what's going on inside. And that's the whole point of it. All right? So open your eyes. Pay attention. All right? Start learning what is going on in our communities, what these agencies, what our so-called government, which is only a for-profit corporation, they have no authority as government. They're only masquerading as political subdivision, which we all know what that is. But you got to learn to stand up for yourself. You got to learn to stand up for your own damn rights. No one is coming to save you. It's up to you, the individual. Right? And then when all of us get this mindset, we start coming together and we start fixing the things that are wrong in our communities. But until then, it's just us talking shit, posting online, not really doing anything. We have to come together. We got to organize. All right? Hey, until next time, I love y'all. 903 out.
And there you go.
Right. Come together, and we got to start
So
holding them accountable. That's our job. That's what the Constitution says. It's our duty.
Yep. So the political power of the people, as stated by the state's constitutions, here are the state constitutional provisions of each state that explicitly state that political power is inherent in the people. If you can put in the chat what state you're from, I'll go ahead and y'all hear that? Or did I even add the screen?
We heard you didn't see the screen. We were supposed to start with that. Isn't that what you said earlier? Please, everybody,
30,
post your.
right?
Well, that you said that in the back office, yeah, before we got started.
Yeah, there we go.
So they didn't hear that video.
Yeah, they heard it.
Okay.
So you heard the video. Let's see it. We play it again.
Yeah, it's not that long.
3 minutes.
We viewed it.
Yeah, hold on. It's gonna have to load up. Takes a minute.
It's hard to tell truth on this app.
All right, here we go.
What's up, America? Hey, I want to get on here for a minute and just have a chat. Last video I made like this, TikTok took it down. It's hard to tell truth on this app. And if you don't enter the video or put your little disclosure down there, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say here is factual or true. It's just for shits and giggles. It's to entertain the population. I wish there was an app, and people tell me all the time, oh, you put it on this one, put it on that one, they won't censor you. The shit I talk about, they censor on every app. Yeah, because we're getting down to the nitty gritty of what people do wrong, all right, and who's who in this big old mess of shit in this country. Another thing we need to focus on what's going on at home, all right? All this bullshit in the news, all this bullshit overseas, like, that's none of your business. It's none of your concern. You need to be focused on what's going on right here, all right? Because all of that bullshit is happening right here, all right? And that's what all that is for, is to keep you from seeing what is going on in your own neighborhoods, your own communities, all right? For instance, law enforcement. It's our job to hold law enforcement accountable. It's our job to hold the judges accountable. It's our job to hold the city officials accountable. It's our job, period. It's our job. It's our responsibility. All right? So we have to step up. All right? We have to be educated. We have to be knowledgeable. We have to have a pathway forward. All right? We've got all kinds of resources to do that. All right? I'm telling you, these AIs that they're coming out with, use it for your legal and lawful matters. Use it. Communicate with that damn AI. It will give you some bang up information on how to hold people accountable when they do you wrong. Absolutely. All right. So we all have to take an active approach, and we all got to unify on the same ground. All right. I see a lot of people still trying to defend people that are oppressing others, and that's not going to work anymore. All right. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm putting those facts down. I'm putting the truth out for everybody to see. But it's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to us to hold the system accountable, because we are the highest law of the land. We are the people. Period. And if we don't act, no one else is going to do it for us. There's no savior coming back. All right? We talk about Christ consciousness or Christ returning. That's inside. It's an internal thing. All right? And the world wants you to keep looking out so you don't know what's going on inside. And that's the whole point of it. All right? So open your eyes. Pay attention. All right? Start learning what is going on in our communities, what these agencies, what our so-called government, which is only a private for-profit corporation, they have no authority as government. They're only masquerading as political subdivision, which we all know what that is. But you got to learn to stand up for yourself. You got to learn to stand up for your own damn rights. No one is coming to save you. It's up to you, the individual. All right? And then when all of us get this mindset, we start coming together and we start fixing the things that are wrong in our communities. But until then, it's just us talking shit, posting online, not really doing anything. We have to come together. We got to organize. All right? Hey, until next time, I love y'all. 903.
All right. Yeah, I still got the screen up. Yeah, okay. Here we go. So the power is inherent in the people. Let me go to my documents real quick, and then we're going to get into solutions. So political power of the people, as stated by the state's constitution.
Texas, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania.
Here are the state constitutional provisions of each state that explicitly state that political power is inherent in the people. And right now we got somebody's put in the chat. Pennsylvania, Article 1, Section 2. All power is inherent in the people, and all free. So everyone's state constitution says pretty much the same thing, but worded differently in different states. So it's interesting to read each one because it gives you an even bigger picture. Pennsylvania, Article 1, Section 2. All power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable right, an inalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think proper. What's the other one? Massachusetts.
Massachusetts and Texas.
Texas is Article 1, Section 2. All political powers inherent in the people, and all governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefits. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a republican form of government, and subject to this limitation only, they have at all times inalienable rights, alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient. So the word's different, right? Look up the word expedient.
The next one is Massachusetts. And someone wanted to know.
Yeah. Article 1, Massachusetts. All men are born free and equal. Right there. All men are born what? Free?
Free and equal.
And equal, and have certain natural, essential, and unalienable rights, among which may be reckoned the right of enjoying and defending their lives and liberties, that of acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and fine, that of seeking and obtaining their safety and happiness. All power is inherent in the people. All free governments are founded in their authority and instituted for their benefit. They have therefore an unalienable and indefeasible right to institute government and to reform, alter, or totally change the same when their protection, safety, or prosperity and happiness require it. You see any other states?
Not on the chat. I don't know about that.
All right, let me look over here.
You got a lot. You got Florida,
Iowa,
Missouri, Nebraska,
Virginia.
yeah,
Iowa and Virginia.
Massachusetts, Connecticut, West Virginia, Kentucky, Idaho, Ohio, Oklahoma.
Hold on one second. There we go. Got you back. All right. Which one is it? Did you say Iowa? Article 1, Section 2. All political powers inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their protection, for the protection, security, and benefit of the people. And they have the right at all times to alter or reform the same whenever the public good may require it. Is there another one? Oh, Florida. Damn, I might as well read them all. Delaware.
There's 50 of them.
I can see them over here. See Delaware. Delaware, Article 1, Section 2. All political power is vested in and derived from the people. All government of right originates from the people, is founded upon their will, and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Illinois.
These are good for the affidavit of truth. This is the sections I was referring to also.
Yes.
Oh, it's right here. So Illinois is Article 1, Section 2. So they pretty much read the same concept, right? But there's a little add. Each state has its own like fingerprint, right?
Yeah.
Article 1, Section 2, especially Illinois right here. All political power is vested in and derived from the people. Government is instituted for the common good, for the protection, safety, and benefit of the people, and not for profit, honor, or private interest of any one man, family, or class of men. See how that's said differently? West Virginia. Right here, Article 3, Section 1 on West Virginia. The government of the United States is a government of enumerate powers, and all powers not delegated to it, nor inhibited to the states, are reserved to the states or to the people thereof. Among the powers so reserved to the people is the exclusive right to govern themselves in all local manners. Govern themselves.
Right.
How about
In
Rhode
all-
Island?
In all local
I'm sorry.
manners.
Rhode Island.
So in
My
all
apologies. My apologies. I'm sorry I did it again.
No, you're good.
in all local manners, right? That's where the power's at. It's not a district. It's not in DC, the district of criminals, right? What was that you said, Cos? What
I
was that?
apologize for walking on you. Rhode Island is because we don't see Rhode Island very often. You see the other states pretty much.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
Rhode
saw
Island. Have you ever met anybody from Rhode Island?
No.
that.
Anybody?
Well, we've got a CARALG 55 in the Rumble chat from Rhode Island.
There
Okay,
you go.
here we go. That's awesome. Article 1, Section 2, all powers inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable, indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think proper. So that's kind of
Same
from
as
the
that
other
one.
ones, yeah. Michigan. It's going to be the Article 1, Section 1. It's kind of short for Michigan. Well, one sentence, but it's good. All political power is inherent in the people. Period.
Period. South Carolina. Someone wants South Carolina.
Government is instituted for their equal benefit, security, and protection. There's Michigan. Even though it's short, it still tells you
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Oh, we're going to go over those documents in a minute. All right, South Carolina, Article 1, Section 1. South Carolina's beautiful, ain't it?
Mhm.
All political power is vested in and derived from the people only. Therefore, they have the right at all times to modify their form of government in such manner as they may deem expedient. See, here in Texas, it tells us we have a Republican form of government.
Right.
That's why I was see right here. It says the faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a Republican form of government. Florida,
I think you read Florida, didn't you? Oh,
Florida, Article 1, Section 1. All political powers inherent in the people. The what is it? Enunciation herein of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or impair others retained by the people. So again, all political powers inherent in the people. That's the most important sentence.
right.
All of it says it. Every one of it. So the point is, they all tell you who has the power, the real political power, and it's the people. It's united. As long as the House is divided, you can't come together and get anything done and organize. But you still
And
think it's
that's-
Republican and Democrat. Does it say Republican, Democrat in there?
No,
None of these. It says all political powers invested in the people.
in the people. That's what 903 was talking about. We need to stop.
You have to get
stop the.
the
We
divide
need to come together.
and conquer tactics.
Yeah.
Which team are you on?
Right.
We're all,
We're all on one team.
we're all in the same ship, trying to get off the ship.
Not what the shit. Yeah.
So all
Sheepdog, can you post that in Rumble?
yeah, you can
I
post these.
apologize again. My
So
bad.
that takes me
Sorry.
to
I'll post it on the
That
chat.
takes me
he'll,
to-
He'll post it on. Well, you can't post it on Rumble because you screenshot.
Yeah, this is a screenshot. You can only do it on Telegram or Facebook.
Yeah, but I'll
or
post it on Telegram.
X.
But this is from the book Forbidden Civics.
If you have the Forbidden Civics book, you can open it to chapter 4. Where are we starting at? Right here.
Yeah.
Here, go ahead.
Well, you're gonna have to read it because my eyes are messed up right now.
All right, so I'm going to read this and then you can talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, chapter 4, direct legislation, the political power of the people. See how I just went over that? Let me make sure I'm on the right. Yeah, direct legislation defined. Right here at the top, chapter 4, direct legislation, the political power of the people. Okay. Direct legislation is defined is a form of political governance where citizens have the power to propose, vote, and enact laws without the intervention of their elected representatives. It is a process that enables citizens to bypass their traditional lawmaking institutions and to take part in the decision-making process directly. This chapter will explain what direct legislation is, how it works, and provides several examples of its use in the United States of America. Additionally, we will explore how it can be used for justice and police reform. What is direct legislation? Direct legislation is a type of governance system that allows citizens to propose and enact laws without going through the usual channels of the government. It is based on the principle of popular sovereignty, which means that the people hold the ultimate power and authority to make decisions regarding their society.
This is a remedy. There's two different ways you can do this, where we have the power and not your representatives.
The process of direct legislation typically involves two main methods: initiative and referendum. The initiative process enables citizens to propose a law directly to the legislator, bypassing the usual route of elected representatives. The reform process, on the other hand, allows citizens to vote directly on a proposed law or amendment. Direct legislation has been utilized in many different countries around the world, but it is most commonly found in Switzerland and the United States of America. Examples of direct legislation in the United States of America. Direct legislation has a long history in America, dating back to the early 20th century. There are several examples of how direct legislation has been used in America to pass legislation. 1, women's suffrage. We're down here. So the women's suffrage movement in the early 1900s used direct legislation to help achieve their goal of gaining the right to vote. So in 1910, Washington State became the first state to pass women's suffrage through a statewide referendum. The success inspired other states to follow suit, and by 1920, the 19th Amendment was added to the U.S. Constitution. So where I go? Marijuana legislation. In recent years, we're at the top of the page. It's kind of blurry. So marijuana legislation in recent years, many states have legalized marijuana through the use of direct legislation. In 2012, Colorado and Washington became the first states to legalize the recreational use of marijuana through a statewide initiative. Since then, several other states have followed suit, either through an initiative or a referendum. 3, minimum wage increases. Several states have also used direct legislation to increase the minimum wage. In 2016, California became the first state to pass a $15 minimum wage through an initiative. Since then, several other states have followed suit, either through an initiative or a referendum. So using direct legislation for justice and police reform. Direct legislation has the potential to be a powerful tool for justice and police reform. In the wake of the several mainstream protests, many activists have called for reform of the criminal justice system and the policing system in America. Here are several ways that the direct legislation could be used to bring about these reforms. 1. Police accountability measures. Direct legislation could be used to introduce police accountability measures, such as requiring officers to wear body cameras that they can't turn off or mute, establishing independent civilian review boards, and severely limiting the use of force by police officers. These measures could be proposed through an initiative and put to a vote through a referendum.
Which most of those have been done in a lot of states, but we need them in every state.
2. Criminal justice reform. Direct legislation could also be used to introduce criminal justice reforms, such as reducing mandatory minimum sentences, increasing access to rehabilitation and mental health services, and ending cash bail. These reforms could be proposed through an initiative and put to a vote through a referendum.
Which you've seen in some states, they have done that as well. The no cash bail and the people with a criminal background being able to vote. So that's already been done in some states. We need them all done in 50 states.
So the battle is in hometown.
Yes.
States' rights, local power is inherent to people. Voting rights restoration. Many states have laws that restrict the voting rights of individuals who have been convicted of a felony. Direct legislation could be used to restore these voting rights by proposing a law through an initiative and putting it to vote through referendum. Citizens could directly advocate for the restoration of voting rights for those who have been disenfranchised by the criminal justice system. Of course, you wouldn't want to do people with murderers or anything like that, right? Anything else?
They have a right to say something too. I don't know. That would be up for vote, right?
Yeah. I'm sure there would be restrictions on that.
Yeah.
Community policing. Direct legislation could also be used to introduce community policing programs, which aim to build relationships and trust between police officers and the communities that they are supposed to serve, which would be a good idea. These programs could be proposed through an initiative and put to a vote through a referendum. Maybe make it a point to where they have to go out and meet the community more often, maybe twice a year.
Develop a relationship
instead of
and protect and reserve their rights.
Right.
Yeah. That would bring trust and
yeah. Build some bridges, broken bridges there.
That's right.
Ending qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is and then this was going on recently in Ohio with the qualified immunity. I don't know.
Pulled it in some states, yes.
Ending qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is a legal doctrine that shields police officers from liability for violating a person's constitutional rights while performing their duties. Direct legislation could be used to end qualified immunity, making it easier to hold police officers accountable for their actions. This reform could be proposed through an initiative and put to a vote through a referendum. Challenges of direct legislation. Let me go to the next page. My dog stepped on this page right here. So if you see this, that's my dog's dog paw print. Challenges of direct legislation. While direct legislation has many benefits, there are also some challenges to consider. One of the main challenges is the potential for special interests to influence the process. Special interest groups may try to use direct legislation to further their own agenda, which could be detrimental to the public interest. Another challenge is the potential for confusion and voter fatigue. With so many initiatives and referendums on the ballot, voters may become overwhelmed and fail to fully understand the issues at stake. This could lead to unintended consequences and unintended outcomes. Overall, direct legislation is a powerful tool that enables citizens to directly participate. And it doesn't have to be on the issues that are talked about here. It could be
anything,
a number of things.
That was just one that they have
have actually put forth those two.
So overall, direct legislation is a powerful tool that enables citizens to directly participate in the lawmaking process. It has been used successfully in many different contexts, from women's suffrage to marijuana legalization. Direct legislation also has the potential to be a powerful tool for justice and police reform by enabling citizens to propose and enact laws that address systematic issues in the criminal justice and policing systems. While there are challenges to consider, the political benefits of direct legislation make it an important avenue to explore for those looking to enact change in their communities. The direct legislation process, we're down here at the bottom. Direct legislation can take different forms, such as initiative process, which allows citizens to propose laws or constitutional amendments, and the referendum process, which allows citizens to vote directly on laws or policies that have been passed by a legislative body. These two processes are the primary means by which direct legislation operates. 1. The initiative process. The initiative process begins with a proposal or a petition initiated by citizens or a registered advocacy group. The petition outlines the proposed law or constitutional amendment and must meet certain legal requirements, such as minimum number of signatures or a specific format. Once the petition is submitted, the relevant government body, such as the Secretary of State or the Electoral Commission, reviews it to ensure that it meets the legal requirements for direct legislation. If the petition is certified, the organizers have a specified period of time to gather signatures from eligible voters in the jurisdiction where the proposal is intended to apply. So the required number of signatures is typically a percentage of the total number of registered voters in the jurisdiction. After the signatures are gathered, they are submitted to the relevant government body for verification and certification. The government body checks the signatures to ensure that they are valid and from registered voters. If the petition is certified and has garnered enough support from eligible voters, it is placed on the ballot for the next election. In some jurisdictions, a special election may be called specifically for the direct legislation proposal. Now, on election day, eligible voters have the opportunity to vote on the proposals. If a majority of voters approve the proposal, it becomes law, subject to any other legal requirements or limitations. The referendum process. The referendum process, on the other hand, begins with the passage of a law or policy by a legislative body, such as a state or federal government. Citizens who oppose the law or policy can then initiate a referendum petition to put the issue to a public vote. The referendum process is similar to the initiative process, with citizens required to gather a certain number of signatures and follow specific legal requirements. If the referendum petition is certified and has garnered enough support from eligible voters, it is placed on the ballot for the next election. On election day, eligible voters have the opportunity to vote on whether to approve or reject the law or policy in question. The process of direct legislation can vary widely depending on the jurisdiction, with different states and countries having their own specific rules and requirements. However, the basic steps of the initiative and referendum processes described above are common to most direct legislation systems. Direct legislation has become increasingly popular in recent years as citizens have become more disillusioned with traditional political institutions and the influence of special interest groups. Did you see that? It's the special interest groups, right?
Yes.
The people that don't give them all that money that seem to be. So, however, the basic steps of the initiative and referendum processes described above are common to most direct legislation systems. Direct legislation has become increasingly popular in recent years. Citizens have become more delusion with traditional political institutions and the influence of special interest groups. Read that again. Direct legislation is often seen as a way to increase citizen participation in the political process and to promote greater accountability and responsiveness to public needs and preferences. So as long as you stay silent, they can't hear that you have issues, right?
Right.
They
And
just
nothing
keep
gets done.
nothing gets done,
And they do what they want.
and they do what they want. But once the people wake up to the power that they have, then everything changes, don't it? Then we start seeing some more positive things taking place in our communities. So, however, direct legislation. So this is really all about empowering the people.
Yes.
This is a peaceful solution in a bad situation that really requires a not so peaceful solution. But
This is your remedy.
this is a remedy because anything outside of peaceful isn't going to succeed.
No.
Just so you know that.
Never have.
So you can hold on to them guns and that ammo and you look at it, but you better be getting the knowledge.
That's right.
And becoming because we're not, what was where I'd say we're not gang banging, we're brain banging.
That's right. That's right.
Same concept. It's peace through knowledge, not peace through strength.
Right.
I'll flip it on Reagan. That's a Reagan quote, right?
Yes.
However, direct legislation is not without its critics. Opponents argue that the initiative and referendum processes can be easily influenced by well-funded interest groups, and that the public may not have the expertise or information necessary to make an informed decision about complex policy issues. Additionally, direct legislation can sometimes lead to the passage of contradictory or poorly written laws that are difficult to implement effectively. Despite these challenges, direct legislation remains a popular tool for promoting citizen participation in the political process. It has been used successfully in a wide range of contexts, from environmental protection, criminal justice reform, and has helped to promote greater transparency, accountability, and political participation around the world. This is really good information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, popular sovereignty, the foundation of direct legislation. A republican form of government is one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people. Let's say it again. A republican form of government is one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people and are exercised by the people. So it's invested. There's a couple words here that are vested in the people, but another key one, exercised by the people. It's
That's right.
action.
Action.
You can talk about it all day long, but until you actually start walking it, then it's going to forever be their democracy or whatever they want to label it.
It is a democracy right now because we need to make it a republic by getting involved. Republic is the people's in power.
So if you want to see a republican form of government, then the people need to know that the power is invested in them, and they just need to exercise that power.
That's right.
And it's a wrap.
That's what he said.
But as long as you keep thinking this is Republicans versus Democrats shit that the people in DC keep putting y'all through, that mind fuck, excuse my language, but it's a mind screw that they put in between
Then they'll keep making
both parties. And it's also a battle we have inside, left brain, right brain. Right?
right.
And it's just inside, it's an inside job and it's an outside job.
And they'll keep making decisions for us.
So nobody's going to say, hey,
Here's your republic.
nobody's going to come on ABC News and do a presidential announcement and tell you that you're in a Republican form of government. It can't be told. It has to be exercised by the people. Quick, Greg.
And also in this book, it also goes on to tell you how you get amendments to the Constitution, how you can change something, ratify something. And the people can do all this. We don't wait on the
So I'll read it again. A republican form of government is one in which the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people and are exercised by the people, either directly, okay, or through representatives chosen by the people. So if you can't do it, then you need to get behind somebody that can. In other words,
Right.
that's all you need. You don't have to be the one. But you can be the one.
You
As-
could be
as-
the
as
one, like
far-
he said, use
What I'm saying-
AI for that thing right there.
Like some people can't do public speaking, some people
Right,
can't do
right.
certain things, but they're really good at backing people and supporting people and
Right.
getting the
Getting
word out,
petitions signed.
getting things signed, getting things passed around, get new ideas,
Right.
things that could better serve their community.
Exactly.
So again, if you can't do it directly, you can do it through representatives chosen by the people, which is we have yet to choose anybody of. They've always give us somebody to choose from, right?
Right.
So through representatives chosen by the people, to whom those powers are specifically or specially delegated, sovereignty is defined as the supreme, absolute, and uncontrollable power by which any independent state is governed. Supreme political authority, paramount control of the Constitution and frame of government and its administration. The self-sufficient source of political power from which all specific political powers are derived. So the self-sufficient source of political power from which all specific political powers are derived. So since the powers of sovereignty are vested in the people in a republican form of government, the people who are the true source of political power have the means to make laws and administer government. The federal Constitution states in Article 4, Section 4, that the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government. How do we get a republican form of government? People have to exercise the power, educate themselves. This is the foundation to direct legislation and why direct legislation is a viable option to combat the very things people complain politicians are passing and are not passing. Right? We're always complaining, right? Well, how'd they pass this? Why are they?
Right.
Well, who the hell gives them all that stuff, right?
We do.
Somebody with the knowledge, apparently.
Right.
But until the people wake up, they keep doing this stuff, and we just keep complaining, and we don't know what the solution is or how do we go about making real change in our community, because it's not working through the
System.
it's not working through the elections or selection process,
No.
because they're just keep giving us other corporate employees to pick from. They're going to continue the same bullshit until the people wake up and
then
start
there's
holding
a
them
remedy-
accountable.
There's a remedy for everything. There is a way. If you have the will, there's a way, right?
Right. And may I add 2 cents?
Sure.
As you're saying that, and I'm watching the Rumble chat, and people are saying, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I get that. Like, but I think that what we should also focus on, we need to have our voice, we need to have our mouths, we need to use that. But at the same time, the impression or the feeling that, the sheepdogs are saying this and this is in this book and it feels overwhelming. There's so many things I think I'm supposed to go do. No. Do what you're called to do, but do something.
There you go.
Everybody has their gift, everybody has their battle, everybody has their niche. And so if you feel called to go start sitting in on some of the community meetings to find out what the county's doing or the city's doing locally, then go start learning about what that process is. Go hang out that once a month or once every couple of weeks and learn what that is, so that you can start getting to know the people that are involved and maybe shake some hands and get to know who they are individually. And then assert yourself or engage yourself and start bringing up some of the topics that we're trying to raise here to make them aware, right?
That's right. And I'm going to post this book again. I encourage everyone to get this book. It's got tons of great information that you can learn a lot from. I'm going to post it in the chat.
But even if you just start with one or two people in your neighborhood, between the 3 or 4 of you or whoever, however, it doesn't have to be a big number, but you have to start somewhere. And then you create your group, your organization. You organize.
And we can do it right here
You name
in the
it.
chat. I mean, if we can all work together and we can accomplish things.
But again, like Cos said, everyone has their own calling.
Yes.
As long as you obey that calling, right, and actually follow through with what you're being pulled to do and overcoming your fear, everything is it's all biblical, right? Even when was that Noah went before the guy and he was stuttering, right? He couldn't even hardly speak.
Pharaoh, yeah.
Right. He couldn't hardly speak. I mean, what did he say? Let my people go?
Yep. Clear as day.
That's it.
That's it.
And,
Yeah.
and right, and stay out of the, oh my gosh, well, I can't do it like they can do it. Oh, well, maybe I don't, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not going to do something. No. Stay out of the negative.
Right.
Find what's comfortable for you. Find what you know you love to do or you like to do, and just start. All it takes is those few steps forward.
And also, and if you're not, you can always get the book, share the book with other people that might spark something in them, or share this video. Somebody else, it will spark something in them, and they'll that's what gets them going. So it can be you'll know when it's your time to shine and step forward. You'll feel it. It's a calling.
KVB 68 in the Rumble chat says, I'm fighting HOA. It's a battle, but I'm calling them out. And that being said, our group is forming. I'm also fighting property taxes in Texas. That's what it takes. Just keep pushing.
There you go.
Awesome.
Good job. So we have a really good head start on organizing here. We've been doing this for 4 years plus now. Talking to the people. We have thousands of people that listen, watch. So all we got to do is state by state, get everybody connected. And we can also form one organization as a whole.
Yes.
And then put it state by state as well. And we work together like that. So you really don't have to go out and find a bunch of other people that are asleep. We're already awake. We're sitting here. We're all talking to each other. We're all in the same damn ship.
But there's the solution part was what we're finding now. The different solutions, like he just read, that's something we can all do. So there's many, many more. But we'll start with this one. We'll go over other ones later.
However, it takes an immense amount of responsibility, coordination, organization, and consistency to effectively implement direct legislation. See the however? It takes an immense amount of responsibility, coordination, and organization and consistency.
Yes.
This means you got to keep going.
Yes.
Even when you get a closed door, hit a wall. Keep going, you keep growing. That's it. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. That's your affirmation.
Get the knowledge. Get the knowledge.
So we got some responsible people listening tonight, I hope. Or maybe some people that can coordinate.
That's right.
Or maybe even people that know how to organize.
Or,
That's what was good about the left is they know how to organize.
that's right.
So as long as they keep us fighting with the left, we ain't gonna organize because they're the fuckers that organize.
Right, like in that they just said the protesters that were going back in the protesting defund the police. Well, that was one thing, but they actually put it into an action of not defunding them, but reforming them, right, which is more reasonable. So that's what all it takes is the knowledge. You can't just go out there and protest. that never does anything. We have to actually do something.
Hey, we got the powers inherent in the people.
That's right.
We can reform. We can legislate. We can
That's right.
we can make the change, but we just didn't know that. This stuff like this is not taught in elementary school.
No, that's why it's called forbidden civics.
If this was taught throughout your whole from elementary school to high school, you come out as a constitutional scholar when you
Right.
graduate high
That's
school.
right. They would.
So if you're a teacher out there, you really want to free some people or implement some what do they call it? Implement some it just slipped my mind. Damn it. Books for I can't think of the word, but
Literature.
literature. Yes. Take another look at your literature. Like Taj said, you got to take another look even at the Bible. Take another look at everything.
That's right.
Hypothecation is the word. If you look that up, it's just taking another look at everything and seeing what you missed. And the answers are all right there. People talk about the founding fathers and stuff, but they don't really look at it. The ancestors all the way back even to the Great Law of Peace, the original Constitution
Right.
from the natives.
So knowing that what you know now, go back and take a second to look at those, and you'll see a big difference.
And then everything shall jump out, and even take a third look.
Start clicking. Yeah.
All right. So we got that. We read how all government or right or this is Georgia. Because there's some people in the chat. All government of right originates with the people, is founded upon their will, and exists solely for their benefit. Are you benefiting from what's going on in your government locally right now?
No.
I don't think so.
And
So that means something's not right.
Somebody wants Kentucky.
Kentucky, Section 2 of the Constitution of Kentucky. All powers inherent in the people and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, happiness, and the protection of property. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may deem proper.
And that's what these remedies.
As they
can
may
do.
see, here's the thing: as they may deem proper.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
could mean some not so good things. Louisiana, all government of right is instituted to protect the rights of and interests of the individual and to secure the common good. All persons are naturally free.
Naturally free.
Therefore, they have what? Inherent rights that cannot be restrained or abridged to secure their safety, happiness, and well-being. The right to alter or reform government is inavoidable, inviolable, inviolable, inviolable. There we go. So each constitution, again, states the same thing. All political powers inherent in people.
And happiness. We're not all too very happy right now.
Yeah. You can tell by the road rage.
Right.
Wyoming, Article 1, Section 2. All political powers inherent in the people and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper.
Right.
That's again just like the other one. All right. So
And so there are
um,
what 100.
Let's see what else we got here for you tonight. Did you give me the screenshot of that book so I could show the people what book that is? The people that have the power that are listening right now. Yeah, go ahead. Awesome.
I just had another suggestion. Somebody suggested to me, like foreclosure, arrange a meeting with the people that are going through foreclosure and start educating them and share stuff with them. Like they would come to me if they were interested in trying to save their houses, right? So if you can reach out to a group of people and say, hey, you want to learn more about how to take care of your credit cards, or let me show you some ways to take care of some of your debt, or teach you about what money really is, in your small communities or big communities or anywhere that you might be able to be heard.
Right, and those books, Meet Your Straw Man, the UCC Connection, those are good and cheap books that are low cost that they can purchase, right? And then that gives them kind of the whole big picture of all that.
Yeah, these are really good tools, just like the Bible and every other book, amazing book with all the information in there. They're all tools that can be used to help you along that straight and narrow path that you must take. Not left, not right, straight. You got to bump straight,
That's right.
straight and narrow.
And that's not to say that you're not going to go a little bit left or right, but you got to, of course, correct.
Yeah. Well, the sun even takes a left to right pattern over the equator. So, I mean, it's
That's
just,
your journey.
yeah. It's a story. It's a battle that we have inside. It's an inside job, right? So here's the
Right.
book,
Forbidden City.
Forbidden Civics: The Fall of the Constitutional Republic and the Rise of the Democratic Administrative Welfare Police State, with TM 2000-25. Okay, this is Jahel Bey.
Yes.
You could get this book
On Amazon.
on Amazon or wherever you decide to order it. Maybe you don't want to order from Amazon. Maybe you're protesting. Maybe you're on stage one of your.
And I've tried to find a PDF for that, but there's not a PDF yet that I can find as of yet.
But this is a good tool to have. It helps you pick up other tools along the way, and knowing who you are, knowing your status, et cetera, et cetera. So we got solutions in here. We got, like I just read earlier, the different state constitutions. Each state has its own constitution. You got to read it. But the power is inherent in the people. So this book is a lot thicker. It's got a couple hundred pages, but it's pretty much all these other Meet Your Straw Man books. It's kind of just like that,
And it goes
but more and more in
yeah.
depth.
It goes over a loyal title, all that stuff.
Talks about leadership, law of nature, self-preservation, first law of nature, preservation of life and property. So preservation of life and property is to ensure the preservation of life and property. America has written into her constitution, absolute guarantees. In no other country is life and property so hedged about with protective laws, all securing the inalienable rights of the individual citizen. So it talks about different philosophies in here. Republican form of government, which has to be exercised by the people in order to have it. That's what this whole, everybody thinks that we're against a certain administration in the White House, and that's not the case. We're trying to hammer home the fact that your power is locally.
Right. And we recognized what it was. That's why we switched, because we recognized exactly what this was. And this is the way to go. This is the way forward, because this is how we make change. They're not going to give you the republic. We have to make the republic. We don't need a new constitution. We can amend. We can do things to amend the constitution, because we have the ability to do that and make it the way we want it. Or each state constitution can be changed as well.
So you're waiting on the people they don't know the difference between de facto and de jure. They don't know that you're waiting on the federal government to come into your state and wipe your ass, for lack of better words. And that's crossing the line.
That's never worked out well.
And you're getting it to a point to where you're going to be in a damn smart city, freedom city, or whatever you want to call it, with full surveillance of everything. No, all fiat, nothing changed. So we're trying to hammer home that this isn't about whoever's in the White House. This isn't about none of that. We were told in elementary school, and we were lied to in elementary school, that the most powerful person in America was the president of the corporation.
Right.
That's
He
not.
has limited.
He has
power.
limited powers. I just read you who has the power. Who's the most powerful? Who has the power in America? It's the people. Once they exercise that power, you can't exercise it if you don't know. You don't. If you don't know you lost it, or you don't know what you lost, if you don't have the knowledge, then you'll forever continue to go down that path of just ignorance is bliss, right? And you won't know that how you're being screwed over,
Right.
right?
Right.
You'll think it, and then some people are like, well, it's always been this way. Why change it now? That attitude, right?
And this helps you have hope. Hope that
Right.
there is a way to change this.
And that's the ignorance is what they've relied on to make us dummier, and acceptance more and more and more
That's right.
of the stupid. We have an Ask and Rumble for the posting of the two books again, the UCC Connection and the Strawman. If you're able to do that, or just make note, I'll try to get it in a few.
Okay.
Sheep, may I make a pitch for the Truth Seekers platform?
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys, Mike had asked for some donations, if you don't mind. The truthseekers88.com. If you can help him with the platform and keep things rolling forward, that would be amazing. Any amount that you could help with, there's a donate button depending upon your device. And also, if you want to become a member, your membership at $5.99 a month, there is a yearly option, but your $5.99 a month will be very helpful and allow you access into the back items within the membership. It's just, there's not, it's not like there's a lot more content, but there are different videos and you can go back and catch things a little bit quicker, easier, no commercials, that kind of stuff. So if you can help the platform out, everybody, spread the word, share the content, share the website, that would be amazing. And it would really help Mike out, probably with some stressors that he's feeling right now and concerned about if that's there at all. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, the subscriptions would be much appreciated. If you can be a subscriber, that would be much appreciated. Normally we don't bring it up, but due to the information we share, some people get offended and they either unsubscribe or leave all in total because they think this is about one man, when this isn't about one individual. It's about America as a whole, and unity and coming together and putting aside those things that divide us and keep us from figuring out a way out
that's
and a
what
way
they
forward
wanted.
and a solution. And the solution isn't the same thing over and over, repeating the same thing, expecting a different result. The ultimate, I believe in my heart that the ultimate goal from the Creator, what He wants to see, she wants to see, is His children to come back together
Absolutely.
and live in peace and harmony within this realm and earth and take care of it. Be good stewards and love thy neighbor. But we can't do that as long as we're in this left versus right mentality and not recognizing the tactics that the enemy uses to keep us from coming together. And this is a really spiritual warfare that's taking place, and the people can't even see it. They think it's the left versus right thing, and it's not. My team versus yours, right?
Well,
Because we don't
that
know.
and the distractions, right?
That's it. Because we don't know who we are, and we don't know
The power we
the
have.
power that we have. And
Right.
we are the heirs to the kingdom. We are citizens of God's kingdom, not the corporate fiction, the dead entity.
Right.
Right, and or the indoctrinated fear of I'll get arrested or I'll have my car towed or I'll whatever. This is, I believe, that the patriot stand that what are you willing to risk and give up? What is worth? You can't take with you what you've got on this earth, but you sure need to answer to your creator when the end of the time comes, and you need to be able to stand strong that you were in truth. You did your very best. You sought what you could. And again, that's not to say that, I can lift 20 pounds, but that doesn't mean the next person can lift 20 pounds. Maybe they can only lift 5, and that's okay. Lift that 5 pounds and move forward. Stand with me. Help me lift 25 pounds, 40 pounds. Let's do this, guys.
That's right. And you will be protected. You'll have
That's
divine
it.
protection. And you'll have helpers and guides along the way.
You want to hear a job well done? I do.
That's right.
My
Oh
good
my
and faithful
gosh.
servant.
You talk about protection and just things that have fallen into place. Like I have literally, I don't know what to do. I'm crazed. In fact, God love Mike. He took my call the night that he went to the hospital, and I asked him, if he had any guidance. And and the next day after that, I start getting stuff starts coming to me just in books, or I find an article off the whim, or I put something in the admin room, and Mrs. Sheepdog reads a paragraph and a half further than I did, and gives me a level of a solution. I mean, it's just coming to me, but I'm asking for it, and I'm in calm, and I'm seeking some answers, and I want to be shown where I need to go in the truth and what is right to fight this. And no, it's not easy all the time. And yes, I have my moments. I refer to it as being in the tree, and I need people to help me get out of the tree sometimes. But the more that I'm able to do this, and the more that I'm affirmed and things start falling in place and I'm standing in my calm, the easier, quote unquote, easier it's becoming. The less hype I am in, and the more calm I am in, and the more I'm sure that moving forward in my path and where it's going is the right way.
That's right. The synchronicity is there. I mean, I don't know how many times I'll be reading something and somebody in the chat asks something exactly what I was reading. So it's like the more you start reading, educating yourself, you'll see connections, and you'll see things just come together. If you're looking for an answer, something will come across your feed on the YouTube or on the chat. It's amazing. It's crazy, but it's awesome too.
So you can't make good decisions when you're in fear and when you're not when you're ecstatic, right? So to speak, not in calm and peace.
Right.
Only when you're in calm and peace can you make the correct decision when it matters. Even staying calm and at peace when the whole damn thing's burning up. That's the key. Is to being calm and at peace, and so you can make the right decisions. But as long as you're just like COVID, right? Nobody was at calm and at peace when the media was running those crazy ass cases. There's a case here, there's a case there, there's a case. All that stuff.
Wear your mask,
so it put them in a position to where they lost their calm and peace, and then they started making irrational decisions,
right,
based on misinformation and disinformation of something that didn't even exist.
Right.
The invisible enemy. It's fear. It's fear.
But during those times, we had people that guided and had solutions and had remedies. So you're never going to be alone. If you always will have a guide or somebody that will come across your feed, or that will have the solution or exactly what you need at the right time. It's truly amazing.
Synchronicity. That's how this was. Collective consciousness.
Right, but you're gonna miss it if you're focusing on stuff that doesn't matter, like that 903 was saying. Those wars, all that stuff, that's none of our business. We need to focus here. Don't focus on the whatever they're showing us on the TV in the political realm, except for something that may be a bill or something that we can find a remedy to counter that, right? So we don't want to absorb all that information. We want to learn. We want to educate. We want to share. We want to help others, so we can all come together and we can get a republic back. That's what we want. We got to do it.
Yeah. It's going to take time and effort. You want to read that? Your time is coming.
Your time is coming. I hope you still believe that you can find peace, even in the middle of chaos, even when your heart feels heavy and your thoughts feel loud. I hope you still believe that you'll find a way out of your current situation, even when everything around you feels like a dead end. I hope you still believe you'll travel the world, even if right now you're stuck in the same place, staring out at the same window, wondering when life will begin to move again. I hope you still believe that you'll get the right opportunities, even if doors have been closing and people keep overlooking you. I hope that you still believe that things will work out for you. I hope you don't stop believing that great things are coming for you, because they are. And don't stop believing, even when it's quiet, even when nothing makes sense. Your time is coming. And when it does, you'll understand why you had to wait this long.
And there you go. Didn't we just touch on some of these topics in that what you just read?
Yes,
Is that the synchronicity?
that's it.
So don't stop believing, even if it's quiet, even when nothing makes sense. Your time is coming, and when it does, you'll understand why you had to wait so damn long. It's a long ass movie, ain't it? But
It's awesome though,
you-
because the journey is amazing.
It's not the destination; it's the journey.
Before I even started, I never picked up books ever. Now I have so many books, but I have a lot of books that I can share and go back and reference. But it's amazing how much your brain can absorb that I didn't think it could before. So it is awesome. The journey is awesome, and it's worth every minute of it.
Yes, it is. And I'm in the same place. When I first started chatting with Mike, he was like, get this book, get this book, get this book. And I'm like, but I'm not a reader. And he's like, I wasn't either. But you kind of
That's
want to
right.
be if you're going to learn something, right?
That's right.
He mentioned something about Chat GPT, which can kind of help you summarize some things, which I used a couple of times, but I've got to read it, see it, touch it, highlight it.
Right. I haven't played with it either, but like these remedies for legal stuff, that's something that you would definitely want to look into, right? Because we can use it for our advantage, not just to make little videos or stuff that make no sense or that has no importance. Yeah.
So I found a sheep. Can I take just a minute?
You can have as many as you want.
Okay. I need a little camera. I don't know if you guys can see me still. I found this book. So David Robinson, we've talked about several books by David Robinson. And because of the foreclosure house situation, I thought, well, I'll see it. Just came today. And in the contents, guys, this book was written it's copyrighted 2010. Mortgages are fraudulent, the first chapter. Mortgage treadmill of debt, mortgage scam 911, how money is created, how banks work, the banker's manifesto, how banks process their loans, signing the promissory note, RESPA, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, bankruptcy court, foreclosure fraud. In conclusion, I mean, like, it's one book from 2010. This should infuriate us that what have we been so asleep? But no, this should give that spark to us to get together and follow through. There's a lot more reading happening, and we will share what we can and guide you to where we can for sure. But you've got to get started.
Yeah, that David E. Robinson, if you go on Amazon, when you get the UCC Connection book or Meet the Straw Man, he's got tons of books. I have almost every one of them.
And he's an easy read too. He's very smooth and it makes sense. It rolls very smoothly.
And it's low cost too. His books aren't that much.
Not expensive, but and there's a couple books. This one might even be a good one to just do another reading on. Throw it out there.
That's right.
Yeah. So when you do stuff like this and you tell people the uncomfortable truth, they get offended, like I was saying earlier, and they overreact at times, and people start dropping off, right, one by one by one. You know, some people it's not their time, and for others it's just not something that resonates. But for the ones that do, they know exactly what to do and what time it is, and not to be overwhelmed. This isn't a sprint, right? It's a marathon. Yeah. Let me play this video right here for you.
See, this ain't your average Sunday school scripture we're talking about. Scripture we're talking about.
Hold on,
here.
let me.
This gospel talks about sacred union.
All right, shift it up a little bit.
Did you ever hear of the gospel of Philip?
Wait, am I
Can't
on?
see it.
Folks,
All right, yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I know I'm not on screen. Here we go.
scripture we're talking about here. This gospel talks about sacred union, not just of man and woman.
Here, let me start it over.
Did you ever hear of the gospel of Philip? Most folks haven't. And that's not by accident. See, this ain't your average Sunday school scripture we're talking about here. This gospel talks about sacred union, not just of man and woman, but of the soul's reunion with its source. It dives deep into the bridal chamber, a mystical space where the divine and the human meet, where memory returns and where awakening begins. So why isn't this in your Bible? Well, maybe because it threatens the control structure. It doesn't preach obedience. It preaches gnosis, knowledge from within. This gospel reminds us that salvation ain't about rules. It's about remembering who you really are.
Boom.
And if that stirs something in you, hit that like button, follow for
Gonna
more,
hit that like button.
and come with me.
Dan Tracy.
Down the rabbit hole.
777.
Dan Tracy's gonna take you down the rabbit hole. Go
The
follow him
Rabbi T-hole.
on TikTok at DANTRACY 777.
You broke up a minute. At DAN what?
DANTRACY 777.
Dan Tracy.
Dan Tracy. It's probably him and his wife.
Got it. Thank you.
On TikTok. It says he's gonna take you down the Rabbi T hole. I think it's right on my God. We're doing the first right citizen stuff. Yeah, we're good. Let's go. You want to talk about the
Oh, that's about the
land?
yeah.
Okay. Right here. I don't know if y'all can see this. You see the GOAT? Remember they say the GOAT? He's the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT. John Elway's the GOAT. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. LeBron James is the GOAT. So and so on, right? They say it's the greatest of all time.
Yes.
You see the symbolism? It says they are telling the truth in plain sight, but they know that the listener cannot read their hidden language, the language of symbolism. The goat is not just a goat. It is the symbol of the lower mind, the part of the mind ruled by survival, by fear, by lust, by ego. A consciousness chained to the material and disconnected from spirit. This is why the symbol appears on album covers, because the music is not just entertainment, it is programming. It keeps the listeners locked in a fragmented state of awareness, obsessed with pleasure, controlled by impulse, and dominated by the beast within. That's why the music's so bad right now. They speak through symbols because symbols bypass the conscious mind. They speak directly to the subconscious. But when the listener learns the language, they begin to see what is hidden in plain sight. They see what it is meant to keep them asleep, and what has the power to awaken. Symbolism is not just a decoration, it is a map. And when the mind can read that map, illusions fade and truth becomes clearer.
That's why they said symbolism will be their downfall. Because when you know the symbolism, it no longer works on your subconscious, right?
Right. And that's all we got for tonight. Unless y'all want to see a robot.
No.
No robot?
No.
You don't want me to show the robot? Well, it's kind of funny.
Okay.
I don't know if this will show. But here we go. Okay.
That's JoeBot.
Here's JoeBot.
Yeah. They've been using those, obviously.
See how it walks? Arm stiff. How it stays awkwardly, kind of the posture of the. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
And people don't even have a clue. That's what's scary.
Well, it's kind of like disclosure, right? I guess they've been
Yeah.
using that.
So that was a disclosure. Not that we haven't covered that. And that's all I got for tonight. Prayers. Yeah, seen that. Yeah, Tasha. Looks just like a robot. Seeing the Elon one too. Elon, yeah. You can look at the Tesla bots on YouTube. There's like a hour-long video with Elon walks out with other lifelike looking robots, and they're all standing there.
They talk just
And
like
they talk, and they
humans.
look just like regular average people, but they're all bots,
Yeah, it's
lifelike bots,
crazy. Just like in that movie, what was it called?
Tesla bots is what they're
Where
called.
they're half human and half robot.
Yeah,
Or like Terminator 2.
hey Cheaty, hope you're feeling better today. Glad to have you with us, Maxine, Jenny. There we go. You got anything else, Cause, before we close out? Anything else, Miss Sheepdog, that I missed? Or
That's it. Just keep your prayers for Mike, and any donations would be appreciated. We love you all.
Agreed. Mike is receiving the prayers, I'm sure of it. We keep thinking positive things, keep the vibrations high, keep the energies high, guys. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this together. As educated, the more we learn, the more we grow, the more we adjust. And together we can rally. And your donations are definitely helpful and important right now for Mike and for the platform. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
thank you, Cause.
And remember, the knowledge will keep you from having fear.
That's it. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
We'll try to have everything together a little bit better than tonight. Thank you for your patience. Good night. Love you.
Good night.
Earth to God, come in, God. I know you're there, hearing our prayers wherever you are. We need you now to send your love down. Take away the pain in your holy name. We ask this now. We need your light we need your love to heal the world you made. And save us now in our darkest hour with your amazing grace. Earth to God, we're holding on, but not for long. Can you pull us all close to the Holy Ghost and keep us strong? We need your light, we need your love to heal the world you made. And save us now in our darkest hour with your amazing grace. Earth to God, earth to God, earth to God, earth to God, earth to God. Come in, God, earth to God. Come in, God, earth to God, earth to God. Come in, God, come in, God, earth to God, come in, God. We need your light, we need your love to heal the world you made. And save us now in our darkest hour with your amazing grace. Earth to God, come in, God. Earth to God, come in, God.